Welcome to another Quantum Conversation. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome. We are in another episode in our beautiful summit series, Timelines, Creating the Highest Benevolent Outcome. And today we are with interspecies communicator Laurie Reyon, who works with the whales and dolphins, and her partner, Master Cat Puda, actually channels Seth. And today this topic is on conscious time travel. And it's beautiful because we're going to learn all about what that means and how we can be in the heart and time travel consciously. Laurie, thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thanks. It's great to be here with you and Master Caputa and talk about one of my favorite subjects, which I feel like I'm still a newbie. I'm still learning about these special gifts that our Creator has given us, including time travel, that we are not limited to the 3D linear version, that's just part of the hologram here. And I have this wonderful teacher who we're going to work with today. She's going to do the most of the class. And for some of you, I know you know that the animals really are the master teachers on our planet. And when we open up to our communication with them, they will reveal more and more to you. My partner, Puda, she says the animals will take you on an evolutionary journey into your soul as fast or as slow as you want to go. So I feel like these last years I've been on the fast track, but I'm still running to catch up. But today, she's going to present an amazing meditation to you to help you understand what it might be like for you when it's time to move into a fifth dimensional frequency, which is part of the ascension, part of creating our life on the new earth, also our connection to the Palladiums. So I think you're going to enjoy it. I think I just want to start out by saying, though, a little bit about, what we've written in the sense of helping people understand time travel. Um, Buddha says time travel is the concept of movement between certain points in time, analogous in movement between different points in space, between an object and a person. So, in this particular presentation today, Master Cat Buddha will display her soul energy to you, which is that of Seth. And she is a cosmologist in her ancientness as a really, really old soul. She understands the cosmology of our universe and our galaxy, our solar system, and has the history or the record similar to how the whales do. But she explains it from a really unique perspective when we call on her. She reminds us that we can activate our abilities to time travel by activating our higher consciousness or our I am presence. So, in this presentation today, she's going to take us into a place of what she calls joyful evolution, that we don't really evolve unless we're joyful, right? Outside of linear time and space, outside of a third dimensional frequency. She guides us into a portal that connects us to our higher self and to the greater universe. She says today you have the opportunity to literally rebirth yourself through conscious time travel, opening yourself to alternate versions of yourself and your own multidimensionality. So this is all done with love. It's all done with the intention to help you expand your consciousness and raise your vibration. So I think that's kind of exciting, huh?
It is. And so let's see. There is a definition of timelines. Let's first have you share your definition or perspective of timelines. And when we're talking about creating the highest benevolent timeline, you already mentioned we have to be in joy, but share with us the ability that we have. What does it mean to collapse old timelines and to create the highest timelines?
Hmm. Well, I think the first step is for people to actually consciously move out of what we call the linear time frame, which means you have to surrender the mind. I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't really think there are any humans on the planet yet that are evolved enough to be able to really create from the mind effectively. Okay, and it's kind of sad because as children, I think, and young people, we've been taught that the intelligence, the mind is the place to be, it's the place to go. And the animals have taught me quite the opposite of that. They said your mind, your brain is not evolved yet. It's still very polarized. It's even in two halves that fight with each other, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. And that when we're in the mind, we're still in a third dimensional reality, and we're in a polarization, which is there's a lot of resistance there. And there's a lot of judgment over somebody thinking one thing is right or another thing is wrong. And the animals teach us that there is no right or wrong. There is simply the word free will. And in free will, you make choices. And if you can turn the choices into a different frequency, which is not right or wrong, but into highest and best or most benevolent outcome, then the free will choice for you will be perfect and it will come from the heart. So, in all the many different classes and things we do in the retreats, we teach people to go into the heart. I'm a Flower of Life facilitator. I'm a student of John Velo Melchizedek and other people too that really live from the heart. And then, of course, I mean, my main teachers have been the dolphins and the whales and Master Cat Buddha in her various incarnations, but all of them, working from living in the heart, we learn to surrender the mind and we use it in a different way. Even the dolphins will tell us that one day our mind will evolve, our brain will evolve to be like their brain. I mean, their brains are very effective. They have all these wonderful magical abilities, but they're about 30 million years ahead of us too. And they're here as emissaries or cousins, if you will, to teach us how to be in the joy, in the life. I mean, one day we'll be able to be in the heart, in the joy, and our mind will still become very effective. But today, it's like I always tell people, you got to kind of find that switch and just turn it off, especially when you're doing your spiritual work, and just let it relax. One of the teachings of the Flower of Life is that if you stay in your heart, I mean, you navigate into the heart enough that the mind will eventually relax and it will trust the heart to be the navigating organ in your body. And it will always present solution energy because if you're in your heart, I mean, you've navigated your consciousness into your heart, you can only feel love, you can only speak love, you can only do love. And isn't that where we want to be? But if you've never experienced that and you're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and you're not really going to believe it until you do it. So hopefully the work we'll do today will help convince you of these higher gifts that we all have, but we just haven't been practicing them. We haven't really understood that. So um, it does mean you have to step out of a frequency where people will judge you. They'll probably say weird things about you, and maybe you won't have the same circle of friends or your job will change. But I think that's important because when you're in your heart, you'll follow the path of love that's set for you by your soul, by the eternal self. And you'll be in communication with the guides and angels, in communication with the animals who are always tuned into the truth of source, right? They always are. They don't leave that place. So some people may or may not go with you, and that's up to you. And again, don't judge yourself because this is a moment to moment, day to day opportunity to be in the heart, and to understand the gifts that we're talking about through timelines. So I believe we can change the entire process. I mean, it's like the dolphins are teaching us epigenetics, for example, which is you're not bound to the DNA that your parents gave you when you were born. And most people think you are. Most doctors think you are, that plays a part in your health and your well-being. And I'm not going to say it doesn't play any part in it. I'm going to say, for the most part, once you claim this gift we're talking about, you'll be able to alter the DNA strands. And there are 12, and the dolphins can help you. Epigenetics was first brought forward into our science community by Bruce Lipton. And now it's been proven that you can actually change your DNA through your intention. And if you were here at my house, I would have you sit for 5 minutes and look at Puda face to face. And she'll change her eye color just for fun. She'll change the shape of her face too. But she'll go green, and then she'll go blue, then she'll go gold. And I go, what are you doing? She goes, I'm showing off. And she's just showing us the capability that we don't have to be bound to whatever the mirror presents to you, that you can change your DNA, you can change the structure of how you look, how you think, how you feel, and you can navigate the timelines of your multidimensional self, and that's stepping into the quantum field or 5D anyway and higher. And that's what we're going to do today because that's ultimately where you came from, and it's ultimately where you're going to go back to. So why not have fun on the way? Is that helpful?
It's very helpful and it shows us the power of being in the heart. And I know not many listening to this program still have a problem with being in the heart, but oftentimes our loved ones around us like to know what it means to be in the heart. So you've given all of us more information and wisdom about the power of being in the heart. Would you say then that when we're doing timeline work, then it's outside of the mind? It really does come from the heart
Outside of
frequency.
the mind. That's an interesting way to put it.
Mhm.
Outside of the mind. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I would say that the less your mind is involved, the better. I'm going
Yes.
to say that for most of us, the mind would inhibit you from even doing any kind of time travel because your mind's going to tell you it's not possible.
Yes.
So
It's
I don't really like anything that separates, though. It's a merger, if you will. where you allow the heart to be the navigating source, allow the heart to be the place of wisdom, um, and the heart to guide you in the sense of where your mind would pop in and say, well, I don't see how you could do that, or that's too expensive, or how would we ever do that, or you're not good enough, all the worthiness stuff, then that's when you know you have left your heart. You are not in touch with your soul at that point. And that's okay. You go right back in. It only takes 5 seconds. You just, boom, back in the heart. And you turn the mind, keep clicking think of it like a light switch. Just it comes back on, turn it off, and say, you just relax. It's not that you don't love your mind. You love it enough to say, it's like you don't want the kindergartners in charge of driving the cars. They're not big enough. They don't have the training. They don't know how to drive. But yeah, one day they'll drive. But I mean, we're kind of kindergartners in the way of navigating a third dimensional world in peace and harmony. Look around, look at the wars, look at people fighting, I mean, that's that you can look at the external world and see that we're not very good at it. We're not doing it, not well. We're not loving each other enough yet. And that has to start from Master Cat Buddha's perspective. No, nothing's going to really change until you learn to love yourself, until you learn to be the example. And that means putting all that focus back on you as an emissary, if you will, or a steward of light, a peace warrior, whatever you want to call it, but refusing to enter into conflict or limitation of any kind, whatever that means to you. You just say no. I mean, you have the right to say no and then go do something else. So for some of you, it'll mean spending more time alone for a while. So you get really comfortable with that, and you can really fall back in love with yourself as an emissary of the divine. And then you'll start to see the gifts that you have, if you haven't already, or develop the ones that you already have further. So I'm going to be really clear here. I don't think I'd be doing this work. I'm 99% sure without the influence of my telepathic link with Kuda and with the dolphins and whales. They're the teachers, and I know that. They are the greater healers and masters on our planet. And because whatever reason I've chosen to activate my telepathy from childhood, it allows me to speak to them and to hear their wisdom, and it makes so much sense. So much sense. And over the years of thousands of clients I've never really had anybody say what we're saying doesn't make sense. Most of them will go, oh, I get it. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, I should try that. So maybe you should try it. It's just something to think about. I don't have all the answers, but I'll tell you what, if I don't have them, I know where to go to get the answers. And that's back to the heart, or back to the council of animals and angels around us, because they do know. And they're not influenced by the linear time frame or the 3D world or negativity of any kind. See, that's the thing. You can exist here in the presence of negativity and not let it influence you. See, that's the really good news, isn't it? Yeah.
That is
We,
the really good news. It's so inspiring, Laurie. Thank you. I want to just say that the image behind you is so angelic. It looks like you've got a crown on your
hmm,
head. It's so beautiful, like your crown is radiant with a golden crown. All right.
thank you.
So when we're talking about time travel, then, so from being in this heart, you're saying that the solution energy is there. There's no
Yes.
limitation, there's no lack.
Mhm.
That's so beautiful. And that is a good lesson for all of us. So now when we're doing time travel, this is where we're going, and we're actually rewriting experiences in the past. Tell us what's going on with time travel from your perspective and Master Cat Buddha's perspective.
Well, when you go into the heart and you allow yourself to experience the quantum realm, that's the multidimensional realm. And perhaps you have a teacher or a guide. In this case, it's Master Cat Buddha. They can guide you into a timeline that's outside of the linear timeline. Okay. And this is a place where there's no resistance and you can explore the possibilities. The meditation we're going to do today will be different for each of you. It's not going to be exactly the same. You're going to go through your timeline and hopefully come to a new place where it feels really good. Uh, This is a visual she's given me. She says, let's say you wrote a really great book and you're holding the book now, and the book, you wrote it a while back, and some of the stuff isn't applicable anymore. So you're going through it and you're looking at it and you're going, I'd like to rewrite this book, and I'd like to take that chapter out because it doesn't really apply anymore. Or the message is outdated. So you take and you literally rip the pages out, and that chapter isn't there anymore. Boom, it's gone. Put it in the trash bin. Write a new chapter. See, that's the part we don't really get. Most people still feel, and maybe I do too at some level, we're still bound to our past. We're bound to something that happened to us, or that quote unquote, that word trauma. And this is when people don't really understand that they're the creator of their own reality, starting from before you're born. You choose your parents, you choose your birth date, you choose the location, you choose, you contract everything through contracts, basically, that will pretty much set up your life in this particular incarnation with a lot of help from guide teams on the other side. Go to a lot of council meetings before you get approval to even be born. But once you're here, there's a lot of contracts in place. And revisiting that through conscious time travel allows you to make new choices that once you get here, perhaps you forgot you could do. And it allows you to make contact with, I'm going to call it your team, the angels around that support you. They're emissaries of light. They don't have karma. They're not here for themselves. They've already done that, been there, done that. They're here to help. Isn't that great? We have all these assistants and all the animals that are around you in domestic care. They're all here to help you. They don't have karma. They're here to be a part of your timeline of creating benevolence and love and passion. And then there's the star family. And we're going to talk to some of the Pleiadians today. We all have Pleiadian DNA. Sometime we can do a whole big thing on that, but they're here to help. And when we visit them or they visit us, we're in already a 5D reality because that's the only place they can exist. They're just love and harmony and joy and big brothers and sisters, so to speak. So we're going to talk to them today in the sense of how they can help you. And you can invite them into your home or into your meditations, or they're physically here and they're also energetically here, etherically here, both. You probably know people right now that are pretty much full on Pleiadian. Maybe they don't know it or you don't know it, but they are. And they're following that path. So I think the part of this that Loren's doing here is opening the door to something that's sort of been dormant on our planet. We're just starting to get the knowledge and regain the wisdom of how to time travel or bilocate, if you will, and use these gifts. It's not like Buddha's got them and you don't, or that I've got them and you don't, or we all have them. But nothing's going to happen in the sense of these higher gifts until you get in the heart. The love is the vibration that makes all this spin, that makes it happen. It's this polarity of the mind. Well, I can do it. No, you can't. I can do it. You have to get rid of that. And again, one day our minds will be very valuable. In the meantime, your mind should be focused on running the organ systems in your physical body. That's enough. Let it just do that, and it'll have its purpose.
And as we know about UFOs, the disclosure movement, we've learned that, or many believe that the ETs that are visiting are actually us from the future. And
I believe that. Yeah. And
and,
Star Family. Yeah. I
and
always laugh when I hear the word disclosure because it happened for me in 1994. So, and from that moment on, and I lived many years in Baja, in Mexico, where they could come land, whatever you want to call it, come to my house, sit on the couch, you know,
really,
ride
wow,
with me in the car. At one point, I had to say to them, they were, when I was driving, there'd be ships on both sides and they're talking and we're talking. And then I'm like, look, I'm going to have an accident. I said, you guys can't do that. I'm in a physical body. You guys have forgotten what that's like. You can't be flying right beside my car when I'm driving. You got to go up higher, and then we'll talk later. Okay, just give me a break. But if you were at my house here, I would take you to the front yard at night, and if you're willing, you would see a couple of plating ships that are pretty much always here. I mean, they hang out. I'm just one of those spots they like to. I'm not sure exactly why they're here all the time, but I'm glad they're here. Sometimes there's three ships even, so I feel like, wow, I'm really popular tonight. They're here to help. Okay. And I think they want to talk to us, be with us, show up, spend time with you, to help us navigate into this 5D world and come back to the heart, come back to love and to understanding. I think I would challenge every single person listening to this, in the replays, is that, do you believe that love is the solution energy to everything? Do you believe that love is the answer? Because if you do, you're on the right path. If you don't think love is important and you think other things are important, then this is going to be a real challenge for you. And I'm not putting you down. I'm just telling you the truth. You have to really be able to say, I want love in all of its myriad of forms of compassion, understanding, healing, being fully present. When those things appeal to you and that's what you want, then you're going to be able to love yourself more effectively. And these gifts that we talk about, bilocation, time travel, morphing yourself, quantum, multidimensional experiences are all going to be much easier for you because that's returning to your true self. It's not outside of you. Okay. This isn't anything we're asking you to do that you haven't already done for lifetimes. It's just remembering it. Okay.
happy remembering the love of the heart. Your words resonate with every single one of us listening. Love is the answer. And as you were sharing that, I had the vision that Earth and the wars, when every human gets it, I'm not certain every human is going to get it anytime soon. I know everyone watching is working towards that mission of helping people understand it. But first, we help ourselves understand it. And I can see when we ourselves understand it and we have enough self-love for ourselves, I don't know how war can even be possible, except the power.
Exactly. It'll just dissipate. It'll dissolve. It will. It'll quite organically disappear because people won't be capable of holding a gun or harming each other anymore because they will be in the heart, be connected to their higher self and to God and to Mother Earth. And it'll happen naturally. Yeah. I think another important piece Master Buddha is saying is it's not important, and you mean to really hear this, that you go out and tell other people they're wrong because
Right.
they're having a different experience. There was a time when you went to war too. There was a time when you didn't understand what we're talking about. And all the flowers in the field don't bloom on the same day. So just be love, be peace. That's the best way to change the world, but not to go out and preach about it in the sense of tell people, stop warring, stop doing this, and think that we're not being effective if we don't have peace on Earth, because this is still a planet where people can have a dualistic experience. They
Mm.
can be in polarization, not for much longer, but for a while. And I think you have to respect that. You're going to change more. You're going to help more flowers bloom if you just bloom yourself, and really focus inwardly on radiating the coherence of peace. Art math does a lot of this in the sense of proving it scientifically that you'll change more people just by being love and peace without preaching to them and telling them that don't ever want to tell someone they're wrong. That'll just create more resistance because that's their experience right now. And for some reason, that might be helping them in ways that you're never going to understand while you're on Earth. I hope that's helpful.
It is very helpful. Thank you. Such a good, fresh, loving perspective. I love it. Okay. So tell us about Master Cat Puda being an aspect of the ancient soul of Seth. Some may not know that, and I think it's fascinating. And Master Cat Puda is a fascinating being. He's your
She
partner. And
is.
tell us
She
about.
is. She's been with me in multiple incarnations. In this particular incarnation, um, she was born in 2008. She's 16 years old now. Uh, Obviously, we're very close, and I actually knew exactly where she was going to be born and on what day because she told me when she passed as Buddha too. She's been with me 5 different times in this life. She always chooses the same birthday, which is March 3rd. She communicates, before she's born, while she's here, and after she's left about various things. Um, but this is the longest time she's lived in a cat body in this lifetime for me, and we're very close. We've traveled the world together. But in 2012, um, people used to say you channel your cat, and I used to think I don't channel my cat. I just talk to her. Like you and I are talking. Am I channeling you, or am I just talking to Lorette? And I was like, I don't think I channel her. I just talk to her. And then I tell you what she's saying because you're not speaking the same language she is, right? But in 2012, it changed, and she said she wanted to make the movie, which we have now, and it's free and available to all of you. It's called Ascension Guidance: Living in Your Sacred Heart. And she said she wanted to create this movie and let the animals write the script. And so we started on this path, and then the voice started to change, and a different energy sort of came in. I don't know, different isn't the right word, stronger energy. And the people that are around me that also were communicating with Buddha, they're also telepathic, our soul family. One of them in particular said, "This is not little Buddha. This is this is the soul of Buddha. This is something higher." And I think we should tune into that. So I was actually in Kauai singing in the Pineal Choir with Dr. Todd, and the first big channel with Seth came through, and it came through when my friend was here. Um, when we went to Kauai for the winter solstice, right, December 21st, we were told to go there and sing the Palladium tones. I didn't take her in that particular trip, and she was here, and other people. She said, "Well, while you're gone and you're having your experience over there, I want to have a gathering of my own. So I need da 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 da. I'm not going to name names because I don't know if the people want me to run the event for me, and we'll have it here at the house, and I'll guide it, and it will be 12/21/2012." And so during that event, she had her own event, and she revealed that she was the aspect of Seth. And she said, "My mom's not going to get that." And then I have to go back to talking to a friend of mine that I'd actually never met in the physical, but I talked to on the phone, many, many times over the years. I met him on the phone through my boyfriend at the time, and he lived back east. And it turns out he was a walk-in, and he was the walk-in of John the Divine. He had full memory of writing the Book of Revelation and being with Jesus and yada yada yada. John the Divine. And one time, after Cryon recognized us, and that's I can't tell all the stories in this one time here, but we were working with Cryon, and I had taken pictures and started to build a website, and they were promoting us. And he said, thanks for sending the pictures because I always wondered what she looked like. And he says, I'm looking at a picture of you and Puda. And he said, I really want to know who she is. I said, what do you mean who she is? I said, she's Puda. And he said, no, I mean, beyond the cat, Puda. Obviously, Puda's important to you and she's a wise teacher, but who's really in there? And I said, I don't know. And he said, well, are you going to ask her? And I went, okay. So she's sitting on the bed. I still remember this day. And I said, John wants to know who you are. And she says, you can tell him he can call me Seth. That had no meaning to me at all at the time. So I said to him, she says you can call me Seth. And he goes, oh, of course. Oh, that makes so much sense. Hi, Seth. How are you? And I go, who was Seth? And he goes, oh my God, Laurie. He said, you have so much waking up to do. He said Seth was technically the first soul, the old soul that, one of the maybe the first four that were created back in whenever the beginning of time. And so she's already told you in her cat body that she was one of the first beings that were created, that she held one of the four corners in heaven and things like that. And I said, yeah, but I didn't know what to make of that. I mean, that's like pie in the sky. He said, well, it's true. He said, read the Keys of Enoch. So I did. I got the Keys of Enoch, J.J. Hertalk, and channeling Archangel Metatron. And in the soul diagram, I think it's page 72, at the very bottom of the soul diagram is Seth. Seth was the first soul. And Seth has many aspects, as we all do, to your soul, your oversoul, I'll call it, the monad. And so that was like another validation in 2012 that she said, you can call me Seth. And it's a very male energy, which explains why over the many years of traveling with Buddha, I can take her to an event or walk down the street with her. 99 out of 100 people think she's a male because of that Seth energy. It's very strong. No, hardly anybody can see her as a female. But yet she's my pretty little girl. She had kittens. So coming from the human mom, I had a block. And now I've opened up to the Seth teachings. And starting, I think 2014, she said, I want to start to teach cosmology classes. I want to start to talk about the origin of your planet. I want to help people understand the starseed experiment and the different races of beings that are supporting you and all of that. So if you're interested in that, you can visit our website and you can look at our replay pages because there's a lot of Seth classes there, speak to Seth classes. And I do some on Loren's side too. And she tells the story of going to Antares and, finding out when the Earth was reseeded, decisions that were made. She is a cosmologist and she is in full communication all the time of star family, star beings, and pretty much the plans that are being made in these higher realms. And she shares some of that with me. Some of it, of course, is not applicable because I couldn't keep up, so to speak. Just as an example, about 3 weeks ago, she was having a physical challenge, which she hardly ever does. She was vomiting, and I was concerned, naturally, as her mom. And I'm like, do you need to go to the vet? See, I mean, no offense to vets, but we don't go to the vet. I mean, she heals herself, right? And so she was kind of laid out and looking kind of sick. And so I called a couple of friends I know that are great healers. I asked them to work on her, and I worked on her. And then I called my friend who has the SKIO, the biofeedback, the quantum biofeedback machine, which I just got guided to do. And I said, could you put it on the machine? Um, and she said, absolutely. And so you put your picture into this machine and it works in subspace. It's really high, really amazing energy. And mostly I work with pure energy, but this is subspace basically. So she calls me back and starts sending me these reports. And she said, Puda's running this machine in ways I've never seen anybody do. It's not any part of the manuals or the teaching. She's running it. Now it's going faster and faster and faster. It's like light speed, flashing things across the screen where she's working in the quantum fields with all these different star beings and dark beings, entities, draconians. And she's clearing. She's working with DNA and RNA and different organ systems. And I'm printing out these reports as fast as I can. But mostly what I'm trying to say is that I don't have any idea what she's doing. But the part that really stood out as she printed it, put it on the screen, she says she's clearing 5,394 entities an hour. And the solar flares have just laid her out in her physical body. She took on more than she could do with the solar flares and the CMAs. Animals are really feeling these big solar flares, maybe more than the people are. And so literally stepped kind of off the curb here, and she needs to rest. But I'm trying to talk her into resting, and she's like, no, I can keep going. I can keep going. So anyway, we worked on her, and I think she ran that machine, I'm going to say 3 days straight. At the end of the 3 days, she popped up. She had hungry. She wanted to eat again. And she sat up and she looked pretty good. She ran outside, and Darshana called me and she said, she's got a picture on the screen now and it stopped. She stopped the program. And it's a huge tsunami wave of gold light. It's like the ocean all filled with gold, sparkling light. Huge wave coming over the planet. And on the top of the wave, she's on a surfboard. and her little cat body. And she wrote across the screen, "I am the cosmic surfer." Now, is that amazing or what? I
Wow.
mean, it just blew my mind. I mean, she's this it was an opportunity for her to show us through this mechanical system what she's really doing. And imagine what your animals are doing to clear the planet and the cosmos. So I'm
Wow.
not trying to put on a pedestal. I'm saying she's showing us more and more all the time who she is because we're willing to see it and to not say, "Oh, that's crazy."
Yeah, wow. I love that. That is so special and
This is the world I live in, and today we're just ready to share some of that with you about what the potentials are.
yeah, we're really looking forward to that meditation with you and her. And
Okay.
I just wanted to say that the teachings that you bring through, you are sharing this information, and that's really important. And I just want to honor you for that because that's the role. When we have this insight, we must share it, and you do it boldly and courageously, and it changes our world. So a lot of the programs, all of the programs that you have this frequency, and it's just so wonderful. So I just wanted to mention that. Okay,
Thank you.
so you also, before we get to that meditation, you also have some photos
I do.
of those
And I want
are,
to tell another little story before, which is actually physical proof of some of the things I'm talking about,
yeah,
which mostly have been pie in the sky, right? So can I share the screen?
you can.
This is Puda sitting on her little stool. Move this up. We're having a mastermind meeting, which we have once a month, and we're in the living room of my house, and we're taking a break. And she's sitting next to me, looking pretty and cute like that. And so, I grabbed my cell phone and I snapped a couple of pictures of her. And during the time I snapped a couple of pictures of her, she disappeared. And what I'm going to show you next in the picture, I did not see with my physical eyes. But she did something she does quite often, actually, especially when she was younger. She just beamed her body out of the room to another location. In this case, she beamed herself to the roof of our home. And I was able to capture that with the camera. So in like 5 seconds, this is what the camera picked up, which I didn't discover until later that day. Isn't
Wow.
that amazing?
Wow.
This is her literally in her macabre spinning out of the room. So in less than 10 seconds, I hear her meowing and she's on the roof. So I go out of the living room onto the patio and she's on the roof. She says, "Have everybody come out here and look at me. Tell them to go higher." Because we were about ready to do a process of meditation. And she wanted to demonstrate that. So it's like, now you see me, now you don't. Isn't that
Wow.
amazing?
Wow. Now
So
that
I was
now
always
the
grateful that the camera, I mean, she let me take this picture of her literally leaving
yeah,
in
and
a,
so
by locating.
the ego mind would say, were you shaking the camera? No, you were not.
No, I was not. No.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I invite, anybody could have this photo examined to see that it's real.
Yes.
And,
Wow.
why would I lie? I mean, why would I make this up? And then there were 11 other people that were here that, witnessed her going from that stool to the roof in, less than 30 seconds, probably 5 seconds.
Um,
So I didn't even find this picture until later in the day. I just knew she beamed herself out. Now she's done that, left the room, and put herself in another room or another location since she was pretty young. She used to do it a lot as a kitten. I would close the door to the bedroom where I lived in a 3-story house, and I didn't want her coming downstairs when I was going out in the garage or out by the street. You know how mothers are. Well, that didn't last. I mean, she'd be in the garage before I could get down the stairs. She had already put herself in the garage. When we lived in Hawaii, I moved to a duplex where I was sharing the duplex with the owner, and I left her the very first day after we moved in at home in the duplex with the doors and windows closed because the neighbor had dogs and they didn't know each other yet. So and I said to him, "I'm going to go shopping, get some groceries. I'll be back, and I'm leaving Puda here." And he said, "Okay." So I get down the road 5 minutes, and he calls me on my cell phone, and he said, "I thought you were going to leave Puda in the duplex." I said, "I did." And he said, "Well, she's sitting on top of my pickup out in the yard." And I said, "Oh." So I figured, the screen, whatever, there was a way for her to get out, right? He went and checked, and I asked him to put her back in the house, and he did. 5 minutes go by, he calls me again. He goes, "She's back on my pickup." I said, "You didn't find any way she could have gotten out?" And he said, "No, I checked everything." So he said, I'll put her back in one more time. And then he called me the third time. He said, she's back on my pickup and I'm not going to take her back in again. He said, she obviously has special skills. He said, did you ever hear of Houdini?
Yes.
So, I mean, she just didn't want to be in that room by herself, you know. So, anyway, okay, so I'm going to
Amazing.
enlarge this now so we can kind of visualize this portal we're going to go into now. If you're willing, this is up to you. And I think this is a good time to talk about conscious time travel and break free, you know, if we can, from noise and chaos and any stress of the outside world, and allow yourself to come into your heart and go into a deep state of relaxation. It's important now to visualize moving through any kind of barriers or challenges that you have and just letting yourself come to a different place that's that's fulfilling, you know, that's joyful. So, and hopefully you'll discover more about yourself in this process. So do you think, are we ready?
Yes, beautiful. Thank
We're
you.
ready. Okay. All right. So sit back, close your eyes. You may even want to put a scarf or a blindfold on to go deeper, but it's up to you. Okay. I'm turning my voice over to Master Cat Buddha, Seth. Master Buddha is asking you now to participate in a conscious time travel ascension exercise. Understand that the earth is but a hologram, and everything we create through our thoughts, our words, and our deeds is actually an illusion. Time appears to be linear with the past, a present, and a future, but in truth, it is not. Time is quantum, and all time is actually happening simultaneously. Accessing this truth will allow you to explore the holographic possibilities that exist within a closed and protected system right here on Earth. The ancient beings here in physical form are the great whales. The whales and the dolphins can assist us in exercising this conscious time travel if we ask them. The great whales and dolphins are the stewards of this knowledge and have full memory of what it means to be a multidimensional being connected to Source. During this exercise, we're going to introduce you to the Pleiadians also, who represent an ascended race of humanoid beings who are here to assist humanity. The Pleiadians are able to assist us in moving through time and space and guiding us on how to create or write a new script or timeline. This is accomplished first through your intention. Intention is that power of each individual person as an embodiment of the divine. So it's also my intention now to guide you into a timeline for the renewal of your soul's vows, using the power of conscious time travel to connect with the higher part of you. I ask you now for your permission, as that is important, as together we will make a conscious choice now and weave the very density or the fabric of your body into a higher vibration, a higher state of dimensional awareness and state of existence. Having your permission, I will now work with your birth contract and the architecture of your divine life blueprint. I repeat that I am Master Cat Buddha, I am Seth, and today I am your ascension guide. I wish to join with you now energetically and consciously create a new alignment. I wish to recalibrate and assist you in encoding your physical body with realms of light that are yours to claim. Visualize with me now a pillar of white light coming down over your physical body. This is a crystalline structure that holds the codes of the highest vibration possible for your body right here on Earth. It is my designated and given choice and duty to assist you in receiving 144 new Merkaba codes on this journey today. So move with me now back in time when you were preparing for your conception. You have chosen your mother and you have chosen your father, and they have agreed to birth you into the physical realm of Earth. All is in alignment for your conception into human physical form. Come with me now as you consciously leave the higher realms and make the jump into your physical body. You literally fell from the higher realms with great purpose and intention right into your physical body that you live in now. You bring memories to this body and life, and remember now that you have come to bring love and light to this place of density You sense and see and communicate with your guides. Your guides are here to assist you. You see the angels that are here to assist and serve this beautiful planet and all of humanity. You see the animals and know they are here with great purpose. As you grow and become an adult, you are being shown that you are here to assist in restoring balance to this place. You ask for the memories of home, and you remember that you are here to assist in restoring this balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies. You remember the power of the divine feminine and the power of restoring it to your body and to this planet as you connect with Mother Earth herself. With the power of the divine feminine, you know that each being can remember how to live and create from their hearts. And now, you are naturally guided to summon the presence of the great whales and dolphins. You call out to the great humpback whales that came before you, the ancients, the one that can see your soul's journey and access your Akashic records. This great master whale can take you on a journey into the depths of your soul, into the memories of mastery. This humpback whale can also assist you in visiting the memories or challenges or pain that you are carrying and that you wish to transmute and cleanse on this day. So gently now move into the eye of the great whale that comes to you, the ancient of the ancients. This is a molecular librarian that is here to serve you. Ask that your DNA is recalibrated as you cleanse and purify any toxins or pain from the cells of your body. This is a day to heal and balance yourself. This is a day of empowerment. Focus now on the wave of this royal purple light, which we call the violet flame, which is spinning within the great whale's Merkaba and is now spinning all around you. Merge with the violet flame and focus on the entourage of angels that are surrounding you and supporting you. Ask for the pillars of light that represent the 7 great Elohim. As they come to you, you are being assisted even more in your healing and in creating an angelic grid around you that will hold space while you purify and clean with the violet flame. And remember, the power of this transformation is guided by this great whale friend that has come to you now. In our meditation now, you are the perfect age for ascension. Imprint into your consciousness and say, I am a master of illumination. I am a master of spirituality. I am a master of love. And I am a master of light. I now consciously choose to be an elevated ambassador being right here on Earth. I now move consciously toward my physical ascension, whatever that looks like, knowing my soul will guide me, and my I Am presence is there to greet me and to guide me every step of the way. My energy is pure and strong. I am confident that I can do it, and that I can manifest my divine life mission in the time that is left in the linear earth frame. I visualize myself as a divine diamond sun, spinning and illuminating my whole being. I visualize becoming a spiral of divine white light, moving back and forth easily through the timelines, preparing for my ascension. I am strong. I am a being of Christ consciousness. I claim this diamond white spiral now, and I place this vibration within my heart, and I surround myself in a sphere of light. I claim the overlighting presence of the angelics, the archangels, the ascended masters, and the celestial star family that assist me in becoming a glowing, radiating, illuminated being of light. My master cell is connected to my divine life blueprint and has activated all of the cells in my body. My divine life blueprint is intact and restored and is connected to my Akashic records. I move deep into my mastery now, where I am immune to any negativity or disease or parasites. I am centered in love, and I am centered in light. I call upon my personal angels now to beam their light into the sphere of my heart, and my Merkaba field of light is spinning in perfect harmony with the galaxy. I am running light into every cell, every molecule, every atom, and every subatomic particle of my body. I am transferring this spiral of silver white light out into my physical body, and I am asking my body to change. As my heart pumps my blood and it runs through my veins, I begin to weave my light. I turn into the golden spiral. The Fibonacci sequence is running through me, and I use it to create golden light. I am practicing to return my life force into life wave. My form and spirit are light, and I am a complete and unified being, aligned with Source. As this golden light surges through my bloodstream, I understand that I am becoming a golden, shining light being, reclaiming my true divine heritage from my original point of origin. And now I am allowing this beautiful golden light to spread and expand into my muscles and into the tissues of my body, into my organ systems, into my brain, into my heart, into my lungs. Every part of my body is illuminated and vibrating. Perfect gold light surrounds me and becomes me, as this is the highest vibration I can summon and sustain at this time. I feel so strong and powerful. I feel love as I allow the golden light to permeate now every particle and piece of my bones. My bones are beginning to glow, and they are becoming woven, streaming liquid gold light. I allow this energy to join with our beautiful Mother Earth. It is my intention now to become one with the vibration of Mother Gaia. It is my intention now to ascend as a perfect, pristine light being in full realization of my soul. I align with my divine mission in accordance with my divine plan. I now see myself in my own truth, connected to my soul. I am now aware that I decided to wake up at this time in my human form, and remember that it's time to leave the third dimension behind and move with grace into fifth dimensional living. I choose now to live in a world of peace and harmony and great purpose. As I allow this vision to unfold, I am asked to feel and experience what my ascension process will be like. I know in my heart that this process will occur in its fullness before any severe earth changes begin. I know that this process will manifest soon from the Earth's timeline, that I am using this time to prepare myself vibrationally. I am now allowing my vibration to shift as I experience a tingly weightlessness. There is a feeling of buzzing within me. A beautiful white pearlescent light is beginning to glow all around me, and the air is filled with beautiful specks of twinkling silver light. My body is becoming lighter and lighter and lighter, but it's still here. The veil between the worlds is dematerializing, and the solid things like walls and concrete are no longer visible. I am beginning to take form now, and I am noticing that my body has changed, and it is very, very light. As I experience myself, I appear to be in a very fit and beautiful body that has no pain or weight to it. I notice that where I am, the colors are vibrant, and there's so many more colors to enjoy. I see fields of flowers, beautiful ocean, many birds are flying over. Immediately, I sense that I can hear the flowers talking. I can hear the voices of the dolphins swimming nearby, and I can hear the conversations of the birds as they greet me. I know I am in communication now with all life. I am in unity. How amazing and wonderful this experience is. As I look around me now, I see beautiful tall beings coming towards me. They're speaking to me, and I hear them clearly, but their mouths are not moving. They're smiling, and they're welcoming me to this new world of great love. My new friends are telling me that they are Pleiadians. They are sharing with me that they have ascended as a race before us, and now they're assisting others in the unfolding of this process. They're here now to help me to remember how to live in this world without any fear or challenges. They guide me now to a gathering. This is a huge celebration of many souls that I know from my Earth life. Many others have also come, each having their own personal experience of ascension, and each now filled with joy and celebration. I notice that all of my friends and family members are also in very young, fit, and perfect-looking bodies. I see them and I know them. They're beautiful, and they don't have any pain or problems either. We realize as we communicate as a group that we have made this conscious choice to come to this higher dimension, and it has always been a part of the plan. It is a graduation for each of us, and we are in gratitude for all that has been given. I now know that time here is non-linear. The mantra that I used on Earth was, what I think and what I feel, I bring into form. It is absolutely instant here. I am being shown that creatorship here is without delay, and anything is possible. My beautiful and loving Pleiadian friends explain that when the time is right, I will return to this place, and they will teach me how to live here. They will assist me in controlling my ability to manifest and create. So you see, life in the fifth dimension is without fear or chaos, and there is no pain or disease. Life here is loving, and everyone is allowed to do and to be that which they choose. They are supported. Life here functions in harmony and embodies the template of unity consciousness. The good of the many, not just the one. Each person here finds joy and purpose in their choices and adds their uniqueness to the whole. I am now remembering that each of our souls chose this experience to return to a light body. I now know that when I use the power of my free will and I actively choose to ascend, I will be guided, and this meditation and visualization today is to prepare me for my unlimited and shining future. I now know that I actually will ascend in the physical and create freedom for myself when it's the perfect time, and I take on my own personal patterns of perfection. I now recognize myself as a multidimensional being connected to my divine presence and my eternal soul. I choose to return now to my third dimensional existence in this meditation, bringing these memories and truths with me back to my earth life. I now return gracefully and easily through the portal of the eye of the great whale that helped me come here. I now return to my third dimensional awareness, body, and my earth existence. I bring with me upgraded patterns of light and DNA. I have transformed my genetic structure and intelligence through the power of intention and my connection to the truth of my own divine origin. I return with purity and an ever-expanding vision of myself and life everywhere. Imagine the possibilities as I return to life where everything is one. I align with my divine mission in accordance with my divine plan. I state my desire of service now to myself and to Mother Earth, and ask that I am always in the perfect and right place to accomplish my soul's mission. I go forward from this day as a shining, empowered being of light that emanates Christ light consciousness. I embody unity consciousness. I am a being of love. I am holy. I am sacred. I am divinity embodied, and I am grateful for my life. This moment is my life. I am love. So be it, and so it is. I offer blessings to each of you, my dear ones. I am Master Cat Buddha. I am Seth, and I love each of you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this opportunity to expand your consciousness. Namaste.
Mm. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are feeling like a golden being of light and love on our mission in alignment. Wow, that was a journey that took us, I know it's different for everyone. There's Puda. Hi, Puda.
I'll take
Um,
the screen and stuff.
so beautiful.
Say hi to everybody. There we are. Mm. Everybody did a good job, huh? You look pleased.
That was, I just want to share, I had tears in the beginning there, remembering leaving the higher realms.
Yeah.
And I saw how I forgot. I forgot I was distracted by the familial incarnation into the programming of the family. I forgot. And so, wow, that was so supportive. And at one point, Laurie, as we were in the process of bringing in so much light into the physical being, into the vessel, into the cells, into the muscles. I had a tone in my ear, and I know, pay attention. And then you talked about the Pleiadians, and I felt such that deep connection. I see you as a Pleiadian, and I see myself. I see that Pleiadian DNA in myself, and I never really recognized that before. So this was really helpful. And knowing that we all have that, it really is beautiful
Really.
to be in 5D living. You set us there, that meditation from Buddha and Seth put us there, and we're so grateful. We are shiny and powerful beings of light.
We are. I feel very peaceful. I hope you all do too. Wonderful opportunity to share with everyone.
And
Thank you for
empower.
giving us this opportunity.
Yes, words that come to mind are empowered, courageous, authentic, full of love, self-love. Self-love is so key. That was a big activation for me in self-love, and not to judge ourselves anymore. That when we
Mhm.
live in the heart, we're totally on path. And
Yeah.
so if we're living in the heart, the mind cannot come in and judge us or judge anything about it. That was really beautiful. Okay. I hope that everyone can feel the vibration that we're in now. And we encourage you to come back and listen to that meditation again. It is like a
Mhm.
spiral. Every time we listen to it, it will meet you at a heightened level than
You
you
will.
are. It'll continue to raise us up. And
You'll
that
have a different experience each time that will evolve, you know? Yeah.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
saying thank you for the chance to do
Oh,
that for you. Yeah.
yes.
So you
Thank
get
you.
a glimpse of my world of what it's like to talk to this soul. She's so loving and giving to this world. And yeah, and so enjoys it. Oh, there she goes. Okay, I'm going outside, she says. It's gonna
Oh,
go ground. Mm,
the
mm.
work that Laurie brings into the world is based all on this and the dolphins and the whales and her work with Master Cat Puda. And it's really a library of beautiful topics. It's a volume of information. And so, Laurie, I'm going to invite everyone to scroll down on this webpage. If you're checking us out on YouTube, click the link in the description box and it will get you to a special offer from Laurie. This is a beautiful opportunity to dive deep with the whales, with Master Cat Puda, with the wisdom that Laurie brings forward. She's sharing this wisdom and it's so exquisite. Laurie, tell us about this beautiful special offer. It's got a variety of things in it.
My screen. I guess I could try to do that. But I
Oh,
know it's a conglomeration of
yeah.
various things that we do, audio meditations and you know, experiences that I create with the angels and with Buddha, with the dolphins and whales, their wisdom. and some replays of some wonderful classes that are kind of you know, a buffet of the different things we do. I don't know if it's helpful. If you want to say the name of the class, I could say a couple of words about it, but I didn't remember to bring this up on my screen. So,
Oh, that's okay. It's a whole library of information and people can scroll down on the
right.
screen. There's one that I want to say, well, they're all really powerful. One was viscerally felt within my being. Last year, I went back to the States and I got a bout of COVID, which was really surprising to me. And I connected with you, Laurie, and you had shared the coronavirus whale healing and
Yes.
protection. And I want to just say that what happened to me, I mean, I spent like 3 days with COVID. It was nothing. What was remarkable was after I listened to that meditation, I woke up with night sweats, enough that I had to change my clothes. It was really
Mhm.
wild. The second night, after listening to that activation, not only did I have to wake up and change my clothes, I had to change my sheets. It was like a gallon or gallons of water in my bed. And that was the whales activate using the water to clear out. And then I was totally perfectly fine. It was
Right.
wonderful. It was
Beautiful.
miraculous. And so
It
that's
is.
a program that Laurie brings forward
I'd
through the
actually
whale.
forgotten about that one. Yeah. In
Yeah,
March 2020, I'd just come back from Hawaii after doing a Lemurian retreat over there. And this is when COVID came in. And,
yeah,
the human part of me went, what? What? How could there? What's this? I mean, what's this crazy stuff going on? People are all afraid and upset. And
yeah.
so I went to my council. I went to the White Whales and I said, can you help with this thing that's going on called COVID and the coronavirus? And they were just quiet, which is kind of interesting. And Vendakata is one of the speakers, Sunra, and he said, I have to go talk to God, basically. I'll get back with you. 2 days went by, and then they came back and they said, okay, we have permission to create a dispensation, which means we're going to go into the future and we're going to bring back the alchemy of gold light, which the planet's really not ready for yet, but we're going to do that. We have permission to bring it back, to give it to the people that are willing to give their permission to receive this gold light. It will create an immunity shield from this particular virus. And as long as they hold that truth, that intention in their heart, it will be so. And they won't have any problem with this virus. So I took about a week off and I created this protocol. Basically, they gave us with gold light, beautiful pictures and meditation. And honestly, I mean, even now, I probably don't really have a glimpse of what I was doing in combination with them. But over the next year, as far as we could track, about 8,000 people did it because I was
Mm,
doing it for about 100 people every Saturday and Sunday. And then it was rippling out to another group and another group and another group. And people were coming back with these testimonials of how they were having this shield of light around them and different things happening. How,
yeah,
nobody got COVID. So, and a few people that got it, like you said, a little bit later on, went back and did the meditation and, cleared it, of course.
really
One
quickly.
story that came to mind is that a lady said she went to the grocery store and there were all these plastic shields and things and masks, and she took her credit card out to pay for the groceries and she put it towards the machine and the machine shocked her and sent her back like that, and she looked and saw what she would visualize would be the virus was in the machine. And
Mm,
so the whale said, give us a minute, and she put her hand out and then the whole machine turned gold.
mm,
And she saw that and then she was able to put her credit card in. So they didn't want the credit card to be contaminated, so they had to clear that machine with the energy of her hand that she was holding. Isn't that interesting? Stories like that. And then lots of people taking aura pictures and sending me their aura picture before and after. And they were all in gold light afterwards. So it's pretty
yeah.
great.
I was there with you. We did that on New Earth One Network, which was born in the pandemic. It was born earlier, but it came online in that month. And so when we did that together on New Earth One Network, I remember going out in the world and fear was totally dissolved. I
Mm-hmm.
remember dying in the plague. And so that was in my auric field in my memory. And that activation with the coronavirus immunity shield totally removed all fear. And that was so lovely. And so then as I revisited it a year or two later, I healed very rapidly. So that is
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
the programs, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
And
and Puda's saying, not to interrupt, but she's saying that's a perfect example of how the whales changed the timeline.
they changed the timeline. It's almost like
Mm,
I went reverse, and we did it through the water. So much water, the night sweats. It
yeah,
was more than night sweats. It was
yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah,
like it was
yeah,
an aquarium in my bed. I mean, it was
yeah.
amazing. It was so amazing. And it was, and oh, it was just, I'm just in gratitude for it. And for me, that's total confirmation. So invite our beautiful viewers and listeners. You can get a sense of Laurie and her teachings and the vibration she brings you into. Scroll down and read more about all of these beautiful courses and check it out, because she is giving this away at an affordable price. It is an investment that is worth thousands of dollars. All of
Yeah.
these together are,
It'll take you a while too. I've had people say, it took me 3 months to go through your special offer and I feel like a different person. I'm like, okay, good. That's the intention. There's a
that's
lot
pretty,
of stuff in there.
yeah, there's a
Classes
lot of
from
stuff.
animal communication to star beings to whales and dolphins and a lot of teachings of Buddha from Seth. So, mm,
Yes.
mm.
Well, you are an inspiration and a leader for all of us, Laurie. I know that you've got your whale school. You're teaching people how to communicate with the whales and share that wisdom. And you've got
Create
practitioners
light body.
and create light
It's
body.
all about creating light body and changing our DNA. Mm, yeah,
People are all around the world, and we congratulate you on that as well. And
thank
we
you.
are excited because we're doing a Lemurian Awakening retreat. This is your 13th annual, and it's my third year with you. There's that three again. And we invite everyone to join us for the Lemurian Awakening live stream. You can also join us in person in Mount Shasta, California. This is coming up next week. And so we're excited for that. So thank you, everyone, for being with us as we raise the Lemurian frequencies. Laurie, do you want to say anything about that live stream for everyone?
For the retreat, we're going to be in Mount Shasta July 11th, 12th, and 13th, 3 day conference there at the Mount Shasta Resort. And the third day, we go up on the mountain, up to Bunny Flats, which is for ceremony to be standing there on the mountain on Telos, talking to the Pleiadians, I should say the Lemurians that live in the mountain. And we have wonderful speakers coming. Loren's coming all the way from Costa Rica. So if you want to meet her, you should join us.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to going. I've done many, many retreats at Mount Shasta. It's a very sacred place for me to go. Incredible experience to be there. Um, and then you can do it live stream the first 2 days, which is July 11th and 12th. You can do it from anywhere in the world. So, okay, she wants to tell. We have time for another little Puda story.
We do.
Just to give an example. Okay, so I don't know, maybe what 6 years ago? She's saying 7 years ago. She said we need to go to Mount Shasta, and I said we go pretty often, honey. And she said this is different. I'm being called to go there, and not to create a retreat, but to take a trip. And we should invite grandma. At that time, her grandma, human grandma, was alive, and some friends, and we should go. I need to go. I'm being called to go. And to the point of if you don't take me, I'm probably going to die because I'm going to have to transmute something that I haven't been able to transmute. And I'm like, really? And she said, yeah, can you just take me? Can we just go on a trip up there? And I said, okay, we'll do that. And then I got busy with the trip and we planned some friends and we're up there and we're sitting up on the mountain up on Bunny Flats where we're going to be on July 13th. And I have a harness on her, which I only really put on her when we're traveling or we're in an airport or something. And um, she doesn't really run away or anything like that. But I mean, I had the harness on her. And so I got the sense she needed to go to the bathroom and she wasn't really able to dig a hole there. So I was going to take her back to the van where we have a litter box in the van, parked across the street. So we go hiking down the trail and I put the leash on her because we're going around where cars are. And we headed towards the van and she's pulling me off to the side like this. And I'm like, I thought you had to go to the bathroom. She said, I didn't say that. I said, well, we're going to the van. So I opened up the van, put her in the litter box. She doesn't, whatever. It's not why we're going. She's now dragging me off to the side, like pulling me on the harness. And we're going across the parking lot to the other side of where the flats are. And I'm like, what? She's like, just do it. I'm like, okay. So I'm doing it. And we get across there and there's nobody there. They're all up on the mountain. and she flops down on the ground, and I've never seen her do this. She burst into sorrow, like huge tears. It's like you could see her just crying crocodile tears. She's laying on the ground, just crying and writhing on the ground. And I'm like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" She says, "Just give me a minute." Okay. And she's crying and she's crying and she's crying. And then she stands up and she says, "Okay, okay," like that. She's okay. She's gathering herself, drags me to the next place. And it's not that far. It's like she started, and I realized after she's done this now 4 times, she said, "There's 3 more." And I said, "What does that mean?" She said, "Just do it." So we go in a circle, a big, big circle on this field. And she continues to throw herself on the ground, and she's crying and crying and crying. And she gets up and then takes me to the next place. 7 places we went to, 7. Still not me really knowing something important's going on, but it's personal for her. And then we get up and we come back to across the parking lot. We go back and sit on the bench there. And then she's just quiet. And she said, "Thank you for bringing me here." And I said, what happened? What's going on?" And she said, "I lived here as a human thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. And it was an ice age." And she said, "I had 7 sled dogs, big husky dogs that pulled the sled. And I was the last human to survive in my clan. And all I had left were these 7 dogs, just me and the dogs. No more people anywhere. I know I would never see another person when my clan died. And one by one, my dogs died. And I buried them in that circle over there, right over there. So I went to visit their graves so I could clear the heartache and the pain I've been carrying these thousands of years. And I could finally let them go. And thank you for allowing me to do that, because it's going to allow me to be more present here now without that pain from that lifetime. Thank you for bringing me here," she said. So she cleared that grief. Isn't that? I mean, it's an amazing story. And she did it there at Mount Shasta. That's
Wow,
something.
that is so amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So even more amazing is I think the next year we came there and I created a retreat, and we go up to Bunny Flats, and I think it's the day after the retreat. We're just up there playing. And I said, "You want to go visit the graves of your dogs?" And she looks at me like I was from another planet. I go, she says, "What do you mean?" And I said, "You want to go back and visit the 7 graves again where your dogs are buried?" And she said, "Oh, I cleared that. No, I don't need to go there anymore. Why would I go back there now? I'm fine. So like she just had completely let it go. And she didn't even hardly remember it. So
Ooh,
what a
free.
teacher, huh?
Yeah, what a free, like when we're done with it, when we clear it, we're done with it. We don't need to go back into that energy.
It
That
is.
is true liberation.
You know
What,
how like people go back to the cemetery over and over, and I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, she says, "I don't need to go back to the graves now. I finally cleared that. And I communicate with them on the other side. I don't have to experience that pain anymore. I'm fine. No, no, I don't need to go there. Thanks for asking." It's like so cool.
oh,
So
wow.
I'm always in this place of teaching, and that was just one of those times where I was able to do something for her, because she
Yeah.
does so much for us.
Well,
So thank you for listening to that.
Master Cat Puda will be there in Mount Shasta with us.
Yeah,
So,
she's coming along.
and
She's a
be,
traveler.
oh, so special.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so lovely to be in both of your energy. Thank you for joining us. I want to thank our audience for joining us. Thank you for raising your vibration like this. We know this was helpful, and we thank you for doing this work, adding this light to the world. It really means so much to the planet beyond our mindful recognition, but our hearts know. So, Laurie, as we say goodbye, I want to give you a moment for final thoughts. Thank you.
Just gratitude. Just gratitude is, to quote Master Buddha, the key to the universe. If we can be in gratitude for our lives every day, for the small things like running water and a roof over our head, or car, or food in the refrigerator, to the big things like opportunities to time travel. To stay in gratitude and know that your life has purpose and you have a divine mission here. And then we're all so pleased to share it with you, to come back together as the collective of divine love for our planet, and knowing this planet will ascend and the chaos and negativity will melt away one day at a time. Just know that you are loved beyond measure. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart as we raise our own vibration we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.